Gail Brantuck here again from the Glen-l Gathering of Boat Builders in Guild, Tennessee. It's a beautiful day. We got a little rain behind us, but I've got with me right now Ted Gauthier, and he is the builder of a Zip, a Glen-l design. And first off, let me get a little background on you. What have you built prior to building the Zip?
Well, the very first thing I built was a hot air balloon.
Okay.
I have a small little hot air balloon business at home. Actually, I'm a fire chief is what my main job is, but my hobby is hot air balloons and boats and airplanes. And that was my second thing, was an airplane. I built a Vans RV6 airplane. And then after that, I built a small kayak, which was stitch and glue. And because I live on a lake, I wanted to have a nice bigger boat. So I decided on the Glen-l Zip.
And let's see, how long did it take you to build, and approximately what were your costs involved?
Well, it took me, I guess the ladies will correct me, but I think it was 1 year and 10 months. I always say 2 years. Is about 2 years time to build it. And as far as the costs go, my costs were a little bit more than what a typical builder would be, because I spent $4,000 on the engine, and you can certainly buy an engine a lot cheaper than that. And I bought a trailer that was $1,000. So I probably have total in it pretty close to $14,000 in the cost of building that Zip.
And the Zip is 14 foot? You kept it 14?
Yes. I think the cost is very economical. I mean, certainly you could never go out and find a boat, a wooden boat that you'd want to buy. Anybody that's built a wooden boat has a lot of pride in them, and cost isn't the issue. It's having something that you're proud of and something that you want to enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see Ted's boat in a bit, but he has a lot to be proud of. It is an absolutely beautiful boat. And the Zip is a plywood boat, so it's, can you tell us what kind of wood you used, and perhaps the fastenings that you used on it as well, and glue? Give us an idea of what that involved.
Well, we used a kumi plywood for the sides. The top was all planked in African mahogany. The seams were all caulked with epoxy, and we just put a little bit of white pigment coloring into the epoxy, and then we clear coated the whole top with epoxy. We put 6 ounces of fiberglass around the hull, and then 7-8 coats of varnish on top, and that gives it that bright look. As far as the fasteners, we used bronze silicone fastener screws. No nails. It's held real good. Everything was epoxy coated prior to putting it on, and then it was all epoxy glued. I ended up staying with the mass epoxies simply because I had good luck with it when I built my kayak. And there's, 6 years later, it's still like new. It's the UV is really what hurts the epoxy. So you keep it varnished, keep it out of the sun when you're not using it, and it stays like brand new, and there's very little or no maintenance to it.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. What kind of motor did you get for your Zip?
I ended up, at first I bought a used Johnson 40 horse, and it was a 2-stroke and noisy, and I was having difficulties with the steering and getting it to run right. So I ended up settling on a Honda 4-stroke 45 horse Honda. I decided with that because I wanted the convenience of having the power for the radio and the noise, and I was hoping for a trouble-free motor. I had some issues with the idling, but once I got that solved, everything ran real smooth, and I'm real happy with it. People ask me all the time, they look at my boat and they say, that motor, it's too bad you've got a new motor for your boat. And I says, well, the motor's older than the boat.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
And they get real surprised because they think it's an old restored boat.
Right. Well, speaking of which, I'll bet you get a ton of comments when you're out on the water in that boat.
Oh, we do. People are always giving you thumbs up and waving, and that's the joy about it. And they're just really surprised, to hear that, it was a boat that you built. And I tell them, you can build anything yourself. The biggest thing is you just have to have perseverance. Mm-hmm. If you can have perseverance, start a project and finish it. Just take one little part at a time. Read the plans. Go through. People on the forum. You can call Glen-l. There's always someone around to help you out. So just follow it through, and you can build one too.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good. And one more thing, what kind of steering did you use on your boat?
I use the Teleflex cable direct steering on my boat, and it works great. It's just a direct steering, and it just hooks right on up with the linkage, and there's no problem at all with the steering.
Okay. All right. And thank you very much, Ted. We appreciate your time, and thank you for doing us proud and building a beautiful glen-l boat.
Well, thank you very much.